In a world like none other, there comes one man in search of plastic, in search of cons. He is known as Plasticon. Join him as he brings toys from another dimension to a household near you.
Yeah, I know. Strange video. Kinda creepy. You know why it's creepy? Because I found some footage that I thought I had lost years ago. So we're gonna check this out and see what I was up to. Well, back in like 2013 or so. So here we go.
This is day one. Actually, lied. It's day two. First day, I actually had to clean this thing out. This thing was completely filthy. It was nasty. It's old. You guys don't know, I'm renovating a 1964 Aristocrat. You guys can tell it's got some stuff going on here. I had to pull out the old refrigerator, pulled out the old stove. Yes, I know the sink's nasty. I got to clean that. It's actually going to get like bathed. There are problem spots like this that I have to repair. Here's the old bench. I'm actually in the process of removing. I just removed this. This was a, you guys can tell, it probably was an old shelf there. It's kind of funny how they installed these, because they installed them through the top and actually screwed through. There's no holes in the roof though, because this was installed prefab before they actually installed a roof on these things. So I got to go through with a Dremel and cut these out. It's got a little bit of work here. There was an air vent here. I pulled that out. I'm obviously going to have to block that off because that's got air coming through. Yes, it has these scissor windows. I love these things. It just shows you how cool this old thing is. This is an old bed. It folds down. I'm going to be removing it as well. Actually going to be building a bunk that allows you to sleep up top. It doesn't fold down. Primarily a lot of the stuff that's going on. This is where the benches are. Gotta redo those. These are the old curtains that were in here. They're actually in really good shape, considering the age of this thing. So I'm probably gonna pull them all out, wash them, see if they fall apart. If they don't, then that's a plus. Was a light here, light fixture. I pulled it out. Obviously, you guys can tell that the insulation's in pretty good condition. All this old wiring, it's not even going to be in a question. I'm going to rewire the entire thing. Prepare for the bathroom here. It's very small. It's very nasty in here. It's obviously going to take a lot of cleaning. The flooring in here is going to get painted. That was something falling over. I don't know what it is. But you guys can tell I'm going to need to replace some walling. All this stuff will be pulled out and completely replaced. Insulation seems to be okay, so that's a plus. These old fixtures are going away. This just shows how redneck some people are. Yeah, that's going away too. But got the old heater down here. That's going to be removed as well, because I'm actually converting everything over on this thing to electric. So I only have electric and water. Sorry about the wind. Maybe you guys can overload. There you go. It is sitting at an angle right now because it does have a flat tire. I've been working on a lot of stuff lately, and I haven't had really time to come out and change a tire on this thing, but that kind of gives you an idea of how big it is. It's not a very big trailer, but by no means will it not suit the needs of me at the moment, considering I live in Texas and this is our land. We have horses, and that's my neighbor's old truck. I've been really looking at possibly buying Great Optimus Prime. What do you guys think? I think it would. Anyway, yeah, and you guys are probably wondering where Jackie is. Well, that is where the entrance is going to be. It's too steep for a car to drive up in there, so my brother's going to help me pave an entire thing out here. this area here of land where that hole is, that's going to get filled back in. That's a burn pile that we dug because we had a bunch of stuff in there that will get burned. That corner over there, that's the old refrigerator and stuff like that. Yeah, it's kind of cool. The area over here, though, once I get done completing this whole area right here, hopefully I'm going to have a tiny house there and a small studio built. I primarily recommend the simple life for people. I know a lot of you guys out there probably have like gigantic houses, tons of stuff. Well, a lot of you guys probably don't understand. This right here is basically going to end up becoming a shelf. This is going away. That's going away. This is going away. And the AC unit, I don't know if it works. If it does, I will probably still use it because it's very vintage. It's kind of cool. It dates the trailer, and I kind of like it. This is why this stuff needs to be removed. I mean, it's trash. It's old. But for the most part, you guys are probably wondering, oh my God, you got a collection. How are you going to move in here? Well, my solution is I'm building a shelf that's going to run this entire length and go to here. Then I will end up having a few more shelves here in the back. And obviously I'm going to build the shelf deep enough. Now you guys are like, oh God, you got Fortress Maximus and stuff like that. And yes, I do. I do have those. I got a nice big shelf here. And yes, that wall there needs to be replaced. We got a lot of paneling in here that needs to be pulled out. And a lot of external stuff that needs to get sealed. This entire wall unit here is going away. This whole wall unit. This thing. Being pulled out. It's going to go bye-bye. And that's where I'm going to install a staircase that will allow storage on the side. But yeah, Fortress Maximus will go here along with the rest of his compadres. They're pretty tall, but I'm pretty sure I can probably somehow fit them in here. If anything, I can put them there in city mode. City mode's fine. But you're like, okay, well, where is everything else going to fit? Well, right here where this bench is, and that entire wall, I'm going to end up having desks. There is a dresser that I have in the house that used to belong to my father that I plan on trying to fit in here. And the front of the dresser folds down. You can turn it into a hobby area because it's actually got like a nice... It used to be one of those things where people would write letters and put stuff down and all that kind of craziness. It's going to get... that's going to get done. I mean, I'm going to be fixing that because it's one of those things. I mean, everything's going to get painted. Everything's going to be. It'll be nice in here. I mean, this looks like crap right now because it's day 2 of renovation. Technically day 3 if you're going to call hauling this thing over here. But the problem is I have to work on top of all of this. Job I have right now is going to be very busy. Got a lot of things going on. Might be why you guys haven't seen much on my YouTube other than maybe a couple country western things I put up. Well, don't think that I go country all the time. I don't. But I had a gig to go do, so I went and did it. So it was fun. I enjoyed it. They wanted the videos up, so I put them up on my YouTube, and it works. And for anybody out there that likes a lot of that stuff. But anyway, these shelves here are going to end up staying. This will go away. I will probably fill that hole with something. I'm not absolutely sure how we're going to do that. I'm going to remove this kind of stuff too. The big thing is I'm by myself. Well, I'm going to get a convection microwave. And I'm also going to be getting a refrigerator. So those two are going to sit here on top of each other. Stacked in, locked down, so that way if I ever do have to pull the trailer, they don't fall over. Yes, this is falling down because I'm going to probably just screw this up here after I end up getting done with that. But yeah, it's going to be a very, it's kind of a cluster. It's kind of a mess. I will admit that. And a lot of you guys are like, oh my God, what in the heck are you doing? Well, I'm building a portable home/studio because I think it's more feasible. It's more affordable for me right now, considering I'm a freelance filmmaker. I don't make a lot of money. So I think this is the best way for me to handle it. most people are like, oh my god, I'd sell my collection to buy a house. Yeah, I could do that. Or I could sell my collection and pay off my student loan. Yeah, I could do that, but I would end up having to pay 3 times more to buy all the stuff again. Just letting you guys know. Yeah, this isn't going to be too bad. It's actually be kind of cool, especially after I get them getting rid of all this, because this right here really takes up a ton of space. And I'm actually looking at space-saving ideas, way to store stuff, make things more feasible. Everything's going to have a place. It's not one of those things where you're going to walk in, just get floored by, oh my god, coolest thing ever, but it should look kind of nice in here, considering I've got a really interesting paint scheme I'm going with. And you guys know me, because I'm a very artistic kind of person. I'm not going to throw together some hunk of junk. But yeah, I've got to do a lot of electrical stuff. There's going to be a lot of electrical work done. All the electrical that's in here is going to get chopped, tucked, and neglected from the entire thing. It'd be a pain in the butt to try to rip it all out. But honestly, stuff like this stuff here can get caught and then shoved back up, and then you'll never even know it was there, especially after I get done filling in holes, because you know they do have hole filler stuff for this kind of thing. And there is a few holes here throughout the thing, but after I get done cutting all these, because I'm not going to hit them, because if you hit them real hard and you knock them up, you knock holes. We're smart. But like I said, this wall is going away. This whole unit here, I've partially taken apart. It shakes pretty good, but I still can't get it out yet because I can remove this wall. But after I get rid of this wall, this should come out pretty easily. And you guys are like, oh my god, this is the smallest bathroom ever. And yeah, it is. It's very small. But you see how the wall kind of concaves. I'm planning on putting a shelf across here, so that way I have a place to set stuff. I'm going to end up getting a portable washer dryer that will sit on top of this as well. And then I'll probably do something here to hold towels better than these old school. I mean, these are awesome. Don't get me wrong, I love old school. But that wallpaper is ugly. This whole wall and this whole thing here is going to look like tile after it's done. Yeah, like I said, the shower needs some love. It's going to be very difficult to try to replace everything in a shower like this, especially at the date that this thing is. But yeah, I mean, it shouldn't be too difficult. I mean, I've helped build houses for crying out loud in my life, so this is pretty much like you're gutting out an old shack and making it livable, but it's on wheels and you can take it places, so it's pretty much the same thing. Yeah, like I said, old fixtures, crap like that's going to get pulled out. So far, it looks like the plumbing is okay. I'm going to end up hooking up the water hose here in a little while and turn on the water, make sure I can actually drain water out of here without making a mess, and see if there's anything like that that needs to be fixed before I start going crazy with running electrical. The big thing is trying to get rid of that heater in here, because the last time I had to pull the door off of the refrigerator to get it out of here, and the stove I had to turn it over on its side and flip it out the door, because that's a little door. I mean, it's teeny. But anyway, that's what I've been up to, so I'll catch you guys later. See ya. In the old den, trailer, what do you call it? Portable studio, that's what I'd rather call it, because that's really what's going to be wrong. Anyway, as you guys can probably tell, back wall is almost completely finished. We've put all brand new stuff in here. This is all brand new, so it's made it a lot sturdier. That wall is no longer a mess. Bathroom, pretty much the same thing. Gotta do something there in order to fill in where the old stuff was. That's just insulation. So I'll end up putting something there in order to kind of cover that before I actually put the paneling in, because it's going to be completely one type of paneling. Or pulled up the up tile. This is still a mess. Haven't gotten around to doing anything with that because we don't have any running water out here yet. When I do, I'll start doing that. Plugging holes 2 of them here. And then those will end up having stuff put over them in order to completely cover them up. As you guys can probably tell, you got wiring. A brand new conduit ran. These little boxes here. Got a couple of those installed, and then I've got one here for AC, and it's going to be AC and heater primarily. And then I put a double box in here because I plan on actually putting a smaller washer dryer unit that's portable, which is really funny because those things aren't that big. There'll be a shelf goes across here that will actually sit on. Yeah, I know it's a lot less space, but you gotta do what you gotta do in order to make ends meet, you know. So living conservatively actually kind of helps when you don't go out and you buy stuff that you don't need. Myself, like I said, I've been doing stuff, you know, my collection I've actually sold quite a bit. Not a lot of the stuff that a lot of you guys probably would be like, oh my god, he sold. No, I sold the stuff that's pretty much overflow. Unfortunately, I had to get rid of GoBots, all the machine robo, that's all going away. Same thing with my Diaclone. Sadly, that's what I had to do to kind of get rid of stuff. Primarily because space is a main thing, on top of the simple fact that when I do this, I'm only going to have shelving here. It'll go clear across to here. I'm probably going to end up putting shelving above the AC. I'm not absolutely sure yet. I do have 2 bookcases that I plan on integrating into this somehow. I haven't figured out exactly where they're going to go yet. Primarily because I got to get everything settled, flooring put in, then figure out where those bookcases go. Primarily because they have to be mounted to the flooring, then the flooring actually has to be in for that. I haven't purchased the flooring yet, still with crappy, nasty stuff. I'm primarily going to go over it. I'll end up cleaning this. I'll probably end up putting a coat of paint down under it to seal it, to make sure nasty germs, stuff like that comes through. You guys obviously could see that this thing has got a lot of work still to be done, and have yet to do this. I'm actually about getting ready. You guys can see out there I had a board already uncrossed. That's going to cover this big mess here that runs across. And then I'm cutting a separate piece to put here. This has got a nice lip that comes up, so it's going to actually be kind of ideal because it will actually sit within it. Kind of makes like a tray. Did make this a little more solid by putting this here. There's going to end up being a type of paneling that will go over this. This wall here has to be built out. I actually have to build a little more of a wall here. Right here, me and my brother actually decided we're probably going to install some plexi and turn this into an actual skylight. You won't see any of this stuff because all this stuff here will end up getting framed in. All the nastiness will be completely cut off. I'll just take it and cut it off with a razor knife, and then we'll clean it up to make it a lot prettier. Same thing here. This will end up getting filled. I'm actually going to have a piece of paneling we're going to cut for the size of this, and then we're going to actually have it so that way it's thick enough so we can actually fasten it in. And then we're going to take some stuff in order to actually cover the seams. This one is painted. As for this, there is no, well, there is a screen that goes there, but me and him thought it'd be ideal to actually open this up and become a skylight, so that way I've got a little extra, I'd say just a little extra light. Although it's nice and bright in here without, I mean, even that shutter there's not even all the way open. And really you don't need that much light in here during the daytime anyway, because there's plenty of windows, I mean, tons of windows. And there's no window here. That's going to actually be an AC, but I've got a window in here. So I did buy some really cute lights. They actually need to go in the bathroom. The little lights that actually hang will actually attach. They're low profile, so they're about this thick, so they'll go real nice. And I'm going to be installing those possibly here across this way. The other thing I bought was some really neat little nifty lights here. They are not track lights, but they're directional. And the big thing about having a small space is lighting. Lighting is one of those things. It's like, do I put one big light in each tray, do I have the whole thing, or do I put light where I want it? And that's what I'm doing. I'm actually going to be installing a light fixture here and a light fixture here, both identical. They'll hang down a little bit, you know, that might watch my head, but you know, it's part of tiny house living. You sometimes have to look out for stuff like that. Now, granted, you know, if I was actually building a full tiny house, I would end up having a little more elevated type of roof, but it's not a big deal. I mean, this is my first project of doing this kind of thing, and it's not that, you know, there's actually a choice involved. There is a time measurement and such too. So, we got a lot going on. A lot. As for the kitchen area, I have yet to even really do much with. We did run conduit through here. Got a lot coming through there. We actually do have a breaker box that's on the other side of this wall. It's already installed. I'm going to be installing it so that way it can be plugged into a power pole from the outlet on the outside of the trailer. But the great thing is, I'm actually going to design it so that way I can run conduit directly into under here, which is a mess. And this right here is primarily where the batteries and such will be housed for the solar power. Now I'll end up cutting some vent holes probably along this nice little truss here, since it's nice and low to the ground. And probably cut a few vent holes across that side right there, so that way it's got a way to actually bleed out the air. Batteries have to breathe. That's what a lot of people don't understand. You can't just shove a battery in a hole and expect it not to breathe. It's not cool. The little circuitry box you saw under that's primarily for the exterior trailer lights. It's little fuses you just plug in. There is a water pump that we have to check and see if it actually still works. We're going to hook that up to some type of power and see if we can, well, what we'll probably do is just take an old two-prong or something like that and just splice the wires, stick it together, plug it into an extension cord and see if it turns on. It's the safest way of doing it. But that's primarily what's been going on. I haven't really done anything on the outside of the trailer because primarily there's nothing really to do on the outside of the trailer yet because that's primarily painting. I did get a can of this stuff here, and this stuff here is a sealer that helps seal the roof. I haven't noticed any leaks in here yet, but that's a preventative measure. You primarily just use it to just coat the top of the roof. It helps. This stuff is used on every camper that you can think of. It's primarily designed for campers or trailers. It's not really a paintable kind of material. That's what kind of sucks about it because it's white. But if it's done in such a way, you can keep it from getting everywhere and just tape things off or whatever to make sure it doesn't get all over the place. There will be a satellite installed in here as well. I'm running power through the wall here into this area. This right here is primarily going to house a block that's going to hold an outlet for satellite when that gets installed. And then it's going to be housing a fluorescent light that I'm actually going to mount up there. But that's kind of all the stuff I got going on. You guys stay tuned and I'll end up having some more. I'll see you guys later. Bye for now. It's another day. No, it seems not the same. Anyway, I've got a lot that I've done so far. I have finally putting up some paneling. We put up new paneling. That's done. Basically to be boxing this and make it a little more prettier. I did try to put a little bit of paint here because we're trying to protect the wood, keeps the elements from getting into everything. Air conditioner did go in, but we did have an issue. We had a big storm. A lot of you guys know about the big gigantic storm that had come through. So it did push a lot of water underneath the air conditioner and also got inside of it. So we're gonna have to try that to re-level it. It sucks, but at least the AC actually has a hole that if you go in and it's pretty solid in there. It's not gonna move. Unlike before where I could just literally do this and the whole thing would just go. But big things you guys probably see is blue. That's just a sample of what's going to be going on. I did just go through and put a layer of paint on top just to kind of get everything started. Let's get them doing this. Some of the new paneling I bought, and obviously you can tell I've patched it because it's kind of how we have to kind of do it with this trailer. There's not much to actually tack to because some of it, it's like you have to literally pull out all the old stuff and redo it. And to be honest, press time, money. These things are like $25 a sheet. Just for one sheet of paneling. And I know a lot of you guys out there probably don't understand when it comes to money, but yeah, money's tight, so I have to do the best I can do. But I did manage to put up a whole sheet here. And the new paneling, for some reason, every time I paint it, it does this. And I don't know whether it's going to finally take. That's like 3 coats. And it's still doing that. This is the old paneling. You can see it actually take the color just fine, which is kind of cool. Everything I did is I've got this thing here kind of boxed in a little better for the refrigerator to sit. I'll end up putting some better trim and stuff to kind of pretty it up a little bit better and make it actually look a lot better before I actually paint the cabinet. But yeah, this is the color of blue that I'm using. It's actually kind of a nice color. It's almost a powder blue, which was a little lighter than what I expected, but that's fine because then it kind of gives it a little more color. But see, I've kind of painted here. Don't worry about so much about the walls because I know there's no paneling in the bathroom. Why is that? That's what these 2 gigantic sheets are here. I gotta get my brother to help me out with cutting this stuff so that way it's cut precisely because I have issues trying to get corners to look completely perfect. Not the best in the world at all this kind of thing, but I mean at least I try. I did finally finish walling all this in. That's completely walled in. There was a vent there, it's no longer there anymore. It is on the outside, but it's been blocked in. There's stuff there to protect it. I did cover that completely because I was like, honestly, I really don't even think I need a skylight there. The skylight's gonna go here still. So I think that would probably be best anyway because then it'll let in a little bit of sunlight to the top and it's actually an actual hole. That's actually designed to open, but I can remember that sometime. That's the big thing though. The big change is a lot of paneling. I mean, they even paneled in here. I know. Well, that was rude. I just got them killing off the video. That's got them doing wiring. Yes, another wiring goes around this. It's not really going to matter much because it will end up getting kind of tacked and pulled back a little bit away from the reservoir itself. But there will be the staircase actually installed here to cover it all, so you'll never see any of that, which is kind of nice. Didn't install all these. These are not working yet. There is no electricity for the building yet. But this is a Variac. I know it seems like it's broke, but no. Hear that? That is a dimmer. That's that way I can dim my 2 lights when I actually have them installed. I did grab these. These were for a lighting kit for underneath my car. I never installed it. It's brand new. I've never used it. And I was thinking, well, instead of going out and buying a rope light, I can probably install this as accent lighting. Saves myself some money. And also puts the stuff to use because it's kind of just chilling. So I don't like stuff just kind of chilling sometimes. Yeah, if I can install that, I'm going to probably run it across here. And yes and no, you can still see the holes, because that's what I think I'm going to do in order to fix this problem, because I was going to try to shove a bunch of stuff inside those holes, but the way the paneling is ripped back, it's kind of difficult to try to hide that. So I'm probably just going to build like a whole plate that goes up. It's got all the lighting stuff attached to it. We'll attach that to the ceiling, and then have it go all the way around here. See, another hole right there. So that way it will actually cover that entire thing, which will be kind of nice. That'll give some nice accent lighting for all of the robots and stuff that are going to be sitting up on those shelves. They'll be going all the way around there. And then, obviously, you know, clean up here and there, edges and such. They get all the electrical plugs put in. I mean, there's one right there in that corner. Got these over here which are installed. This hole in the wall is for this to go through, because this actually has to push through the wall, and this will actually fasten to the wall with fasteners, so that way it will not move. Once this is actually shoved in this hole, it will not move anyway, because this thing fits super tight. Made sure it actually fit really tight, so that way it would actually adhere, and I don't have to worry about trying to figure out how to rig it, because that's a big problem, and a lot of people don't understand when it comes to installing stuff. If they cut the hole way too big, then they are stuck trying to figure out how they're going to fix brackets in there and all that, and that's a pain to try to put brackets through, especially if it's got to go through a thin wall. I mean, this really isn't that thin of a wall. I mean, it's solid, but I had to cut the hole through the wall for that to go through. And obviously, I'll plug here. I know it's an awful lot of plugs for the bathroom. Well, I got my razor. I also have a lighting system that actually plugs into one of these plugs that is for the bathroom. It's those little bitty round lights that I showed you in the previous video. Anyway, what I'm basically going to do is I'll plug those lights into that. Razor gets plugged in there. I've also got the little mini washer dryer that I'm going to be putting in there. That's got to have a place to plug in, so that leaves one extra plug for. I've got 2 sets of razors, so I mean, one set actually is it's a clip. That's like a hair trimmer, more or less, than a razor. So that one actually will probably be mounted on the wall, because it actually has like a mounting system for that. But the other one won't, so I'm gonna end up trying to do something there. And another thing, got the that's where the old hot water heater was. Well, these are the pipes that come off of it. That's the pipe off the reservoir down there. And you see there's an electrical box down there. The electrical box will not be anywhere near the water. It will actually be elevated, so that way it can't. You also see an outlet there. Well, that's kind of odd. There's an outlet there, right? Well, not really, because I've got a hot water heater back here that's in this box. That hot water heater plugs in to a 110, which is nice, because that means it's unscrew 2 little things, unplug it, pull it out if anything ever went wrong. So it's going to be an easy, simple replacement if anything ever did go wrong. I always tend to try to look ahead, especially like when it came to installing this thing, because this I actually made it so that way the top board you remove shims in order to allow this thing to slide out, and it has to slide inward to get it out. That way, if the AC ever did go out, it would be easily replaced. Obviously, you'd have to pull all the old sealant off and do all that kind of stuff to clean it up. But the plus side is at least it's a replaceable unit instead of what the guy did before, where you literally just cut a hole in the wall and shove the AC in it, because that's exactly what they did. They didn't put any trim or nothing around it. They had, well, I mean, you saw it earlier in one of my other videos. If you haven't, go back to my archives. But yeah, I mean, it was a mess. The flooring in here completely been ripped out. I have cleaned all the old stuff out from behind it, so I should be able to go through and put my tile down. Yes, I know this is still a mess. I haven't gotten on my hands and knees and started scrubbing this thing, which I'm debating on whether I'm actually going to paint this bathtub or not, which I really think I probably should. I think they got a special kind of paint for it, but I don't know. I talked to my brother, and my brother said there's a possibility, but I don't know for sure. As for the toilet will end up getting painted because it's ugly. I mean, it's god-awful ugly. I mean, there's no floaters or anything in there. It's obvious. It's relatively a clean toilet. It's just very dirty. So, I mean, it's not going to be too hard. And you're not supposed to put toilet paper down these kind of things anyway. And to be honest, it's easier to just throw the toilet paper in the trash can and toss it out. And you just have a smaller trash can, so that way it's empty. Because at least toilet paper, it's nasty laying around. It's just disgusting. But yeah, that's a little bit of the overview of everything's going on the inside. Outside wise, well, nothing really. Just this. You can tell I've bricked it in really good. I did have to seal the crap out of it, and that's sealant's still slightly tacky. Did just throw some paint on here to protect this wood, but I'm gonna have to get some real good paint because it started peeling. That, I mean, nothing crazy. I do have to get around and get a door built for this, which we're gonna do soon. And all the breakers and such are already installed into this, so it's actually in pretty good condition. Only thing is I still gotta test the water pump it's got. The water pump doesn't work, no big deal. I can always get a different one. Arf, arf. We got lots of dogs. See, puppy. Puppy, puppy, puppy. Chevy's a dog. Chevy. See him stand there. He's silly. Oh, my brother did dig this. A hole. Actually, when that starts drying up, or I have to bucket the water out of it. Supposed to turn around and yeah, a lot of stuff we gotta do that. That's why the electrical poles gonna end up going eventually. It's just because I have to have electricity out here sometime until I can afford to get the solar power. But you know, it's a way to plug into the grid for now. Top of that, I did get this stuff. It pieces together just like this, and I know it's kind of flimsy, right? Well, everything's flimsy until it's tied down, but this stuff right here is what I'm actually going to be installing for flooring. It's a same type of stuff to use in your gyms. It's gym flooring. It's actually kind of neat. It's great that it actually interlocks, and it's going to be easy to install. It's probably not going to be that too bad. The big thing is everybody's like, oh, won't that stuff just come right up? It'll come right up if you don't adhere it, so. I do have a can of spray stuff. I actually don't have it on me, but I'll end up mopping this entire floor, cleaning it all up. And that blue actually matches this blue, which is nice. Because then, got the blue ceiling, blue floors, I end up having blue doors and drawers. That's funny how that rhymes. Anyway, yeah. So it's kind of coming together pretty nice. It's not too bad. Oh, I did get new handles for the drawers because those are ugly and they're old. And I'm not going to repaint these because they're a pain in the butt. So why not get these, re-drill new holes, installed? Simple. I do have a can of wood putty here to fill holes, so I'll be able to do that. But anyway, that's about the update that I got going on for you guys. You gotta stay tuned in the Here we go. Progress, 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 progress. Yes, progress. As you guys can clearly tell, I got some paint on the walls. So you got the gray and the black and blue going. Up top here as well. I have decided that that is no longer going to be a bed. That is going to end up becoming storage. The only thing I'm really waiting on is getting a sheet of OSB to put here, so that way it's no longer a pass-through. It actually has a shelf up here. That's going to become a shelf. This is the hot water heater. Still working on trying to get that thing installed. It's been raining a lot. Just give you guys a little heads up. I've been working in a bit of a mud hole out here. So anyway, progress is paint, shelving. Oh, by the way, cabinetry for clothing, all installed, done. You guys remember this was a gigantic gaping hole. No longer is a hole there. That has now been filled. Moving on over here, we got blue cabinetry. Yay, blue cabinets. And we also have tile on our walls. This is that stuff that I bought. I still have to kind of clean it up a little bit. Still have to do a little bit of the caulking and such. Microwave and refrigerator are installed in the cabinetry. As you can clearly tell, we got black cabinets, blue. It's actually kind of coming along pretty good. Could be kind of cleaning things up. That's my coffee maker right there. I've also got to put these plug things in because we have yet to actually install the electricity yet. We're still getting there. Flooring, yes, flooring. It's that cushion interlocking stuff. It's great. It's all the way throughout the entire trailer. Except for under there yet. I haven't got that. It's an obvious reason right there. Very confined space that I've been working in. Blue ceilings. Hey, check it out. We got a shelf. It runs the entire length of the trailer. Like I said, back up here a little bit. I want to show you the entire length. Yeah, see? Oh, by the way, light. That's installed. Just installed desks. I've got 2 sets of desks that have been installed. This was 2 of this one, but I actually had to install this on top of a bookshelf. Yes, these are dusty because these were inside the house I was in. The house I was in, very, very dusty on the inside. Gonna have to clean them up. And obviously a second one here. Now this is actually going to end up doubling as a workbench as well. So I'm going to end up probably putting a little cabinet thing here on the wall to put all my paints. So that way I can actually do my customization stuff here. Obviously I'll put some kind of something down here in order to keep from moving to the top of that. Door's been painted. I decided to paint the doorknob blue because why not? Same on the inside here. Hey, check it out, black toilet. I have painted the toilet and installed the shelf. Little paper roll. Flooring. That's been done. Yes, I know that's still messy because we don't have any running water out here yet. I will end up scrubbing the living crap out of this thing. Installed the shower head, and there's the shower rack. And it's about as far back as you can really get because this is very small in here. I did install lights. These are lights. Those are now installed. I installed this. This is a towel rack. It will go over the window. Dubs as a curtain as well. And obviously, like I said, I put the shelf there. I'm going to end up putting a small trash can in here, as well as I was thinking about actually putting like another shelf here at the bottom, but it doesn't really fit. And yes, I do have socks on because I am not going to ruin this floor. I do not want this floor trampled with a bunch of crap. I do need to sweep it in here. But this is the progress video. Yes, progress, progress, progress. Lots of it. I did paint the insides of the doors. I can get the door here to open. Did paint the insides. And it's just enough in order to keep it from all the nasty stuff that was in these before. I wiped them out really good, cleaned them, and then I hit them with some paint, just enough in order to cover them up. So I can do stuff like this. Take this nice flat wire set here I got. It's brand new that I have yet to even open. And lay it in here, just like so. And to be able to take my brand new can opener and put it in there too. So that way, bam. Crazy thing is about these are where my clothing are end up going. These all pull out, which is kind of cool. The funny thing is I bought these little manufactured cabinets, right? Well, I installed them permanently. I actually screwed them to the wall. They are fastened in. They do not move. So I can put clothes in here and put them back just fine. Now I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do with the shoes situation. I'll get that figured out pretty soon. Probably going to end up putting like a little tote or something up here in the corner. Now you guys are thinking, oh wow, this is a big, gigantic, nasty mess here. And that isn't going to look that good with a bunch of totes and stuff set up there. Well, you're right. That's because I'm going to install a thing that goes clear across, probably a large wood dowel, and put a piece of curtain up there. I will end up getting the seat covers done. Seat covers are close to this color. And this right here will fold down, and then those seat things come down, and then that's where I will sleep. It will be the bed. It will actually be kind of nice and cozy in here, really. I don't have a chair in here yet. That's one thing I'm going to end up having to get. Which obviously, if I get a rolling chair, it's going to probably ruin this flooring. So I'm thinking about just getting like a permanent chair that I can just mount directly. That doesn't move, doesn't roll. That's literally stagnant, mounts directly to the floor. Which I'm thinking about just mount one here. And then maybe getting like a small stool that I could put here while I'm working on projects. Because the stool is going to end up having to set probably a little higher. This is where photography and stuff's going to end up happening. I'll end up having my backdrop thing put across here. This window I know is blowing everything out right now, but trust me, there's a curtain that goes over this that will close it all off. It's a blue curtain, and it lets in a little bit of light, but not a lot. But if I really need it to go black, then I'm going to end up getting some black curtains eventually, probably just for this specific wall. So that way, it allows the light to not break through. Maybe put the black curtain on the back side of it, and then put the blue on the front, so that way it doesn't look so drab, because yeah, I'm looking at gray and black. If I put the blue in there, it's going to look nice. Now you're probably thinking, okay, why did you use white here and white down here and here? Well, that ties in with the kitchen, which ties into the bathroom. Plus, every outlet has a white thing. So, uniformity is one thing I was looking for when I did this. And I really wanted to make it look nice. And obviously you can tell I got two sets of lights in here, which is nice. And these are little positionable lights, so I'll be able to move them around anywhere I want. See, and move them. This is nice. Because if I don't like the light a certain direction, I can always move it. Now, I will end up probably installing, I thought about installing these. But those are designed for a car. I don't think that's going to work very well. So what I'm going to end up doing is probably getting like a rope light, install it on the back side of this, which will also double as something to keep things from falling back behind this and getting stuck so you can't get it. I mean, it's kind of hard to get back there anyway. I mean, this is all permanently installed. All this stuff is. These aren't just sitting here. They're actually installed. Now, I know there is a gap between here, but this is actually getting installed to this post. This post will not move because it's bracketed in. I can yank on this. I can actually hang off this and it won't move. So this is just going to get a couple more little L brackets on that end, and then one down here to actually fasten it. It's already been fastened down at the very bottom at the back side, so it's not really going to move. Same with this. This is actually fastened down to the top of this, and this is also fastened to the wall. This is also fastened to the wall. So the stuff's not going to move. This is fastened to the wall. Although, you know, trailers do kind of have wiggly walls sometimes. This kind of remedied some of the wiggly wall syndrome, because before there was a gigantic bench here, you guys remember, going all the way to here. And then you had this wall. And that kept the wall from moving. But then you come back here at the very back and you can stick your fingers to the wall because this wall didn't exist. I mean, you guys remember how a wall looked? It was completely gone, broken, done. Now, one problem I am running into is this AC is still allowing some leakage to the bottom. So me and my brother are trying to devise a plan to build a shield cover that goes on the outside in order to keep this from happening, because I'm guessing what's happening is water is actually getting inside this unit and seeping through seams and cracks throughout the whole unit itself. Now, the reason I built this like I did here, so that way I can remove this unit if it ever goes out, is this is a fairly old unit. I don't know what the date is on this thing. Can't tell. I don't think there is a date on this thing. But I guarantee you it's probably like, mid-80s or so. I mean, it's not new. It's far from new. Now, you guys are probably like, well, why did you just install a new unit? Well, when something's working just fine, you really don't want to just buy all brand new crap all the time. So I'm trying to save money as well, because I need money to be able to put power out here. Now, speaking of which, I do have a hole currently right there, and that hole is full of water. Well, that hole is probably a good couple feet deep right now, or more. That's going to get dug out more, so that way I can actually install power poles out there. I just sent my brother out to go get power stuff for it. Hopefully within this month I should have power out here. Now, water, that's a different story. I have yet to swelt in the copper, which my brother is going to help me do because he knows how to do all that kind of stuff. And I'm going to allow him to take the reins there. But it's mainly because and this stuff here is easy. That's easy to install because all this is screw it on and tighten it down. The problem is some of the fittings on the old stuff had to be engineered for the new stuff. So we bought like a whole bag of like copper bits and stuff, and he knows how it all goes together. I don't, so that's one thing that is crazy. Oh, and the other thing I didn't install out here, I do have light out here at night. This little guy right here, little solar light. It's not very big. It's teeny tiny, but it works, and it allows people to think, oh, well, somebody's home. Well, that's one thing that I'm trying to make sure that people don't come out here and screw with stuff, because people do that kind of thing. Now, the crazy thing is right now I've got a gate that's put up over here. Probably see it over there. It's right there. It's that big piece of fence, piece of paneling going straight across. Primarily because we're letting the horses come out here and graze this down, because this was a really high grass all the way through here. So I'll let the horses graze when they can. So I'm kind of sitting in the middle of a pasture in a way this right here, but it's no big deal. I will eventually have gravel put out here. We are going to be working on building a deck, like a small little teeny tiny porch deck thing to put out here for now, until it's actually built a full-fledged deck. Now you're probably thinking, why are you putting a power pole on a full-fledged deck but you got a portable studio that you're building? Haha! There's the question. And there's an answer. The answer is, when this thing is done and it's completely roadworthy, I'm going to be starting to build a tiny house. It's built on a trailer. That's how those work. They get built on a nice big trailer flatbed thing, and whenever I get that thing built, that's going to sit in the place of this. So whatever deck I put out there, it's going to end up having to be tied to the tiny house. So that's going to end up becoming a thing. I will eventually probably end up having a studio out here along with a garage for my car and any other vehicles I get in the future, but that's what I'm looking at. But anyhow, this progress video, just show you guys what's been going on. I've had a lot that I've done in the past probably week. It's took me about a week to get this thing to this point. It's been a lot of work. The funny thing is after you get them putting a lot of time and effort into something after it's completed, and you sit back and you look and you're like, holy crap, I probably could have done this, I could have done that, could have done that. You're going to know every flaw, but when most people walk in, they're like, oh, wow, that's different. That's cool. How did you do that? And, you know, that's the big thing a lot of people don't understand. It's a lot of work involved with a lot of the stuff that I do. Not to mention just being a film guy, I've got a lot of work going on there too. Primarily doing stuff with the newspaper that I work at, and it's not a lot of money that I'm making there, but apparently one of the ladies there is going to be possibly quitting pretty soon, so that means she's one of our reporters, which is probably a good thing, because that means my workload's probably going to double, which means my paycheck's going to double. Which means, yay, because I need money desperately. You're probably like, well, look at all the money you put into this. I'm putting money into this because I have to move out of this house. And the only way I can actually afford to live out here is by renovating and rebuilding something for myself. I could have easily went and rented an apartment, but with unsteady income like I got, it's very difficult to do. I mean, a lot of guys I know that go get these apartments and condos and stuff like that for their phone guys, they tend to have quite a few months, if not years, of money saved. So that way they can do what they want. I haven't been that fortunate yet. I figure in the future that'll end up happening, but at the moment right now, it's probably not gonna happen. Got too many other things going on. I'm looking at possibly 5 bills I'm gonna end up having to pay living out here, and it's very difficult for me to meet that, let alone have an apartment. An apartment is like another bill on top of all that, and it's rent. This is rent free. This is built, done, it's mine, I do what I want with it. But the thing is, I'll end up having to pay for water, end up having to pay for electric, insurance, my phone, and then internet if I can get it. I do have a credit card I have to pay on as well, so I mean, I'll end up having 6 different bills, which eventually it's going to end up happening. Things are just really going slow right now. It's like I said, it's very difficult. I literally have to give my brother a lot of money just to get a power pole put out here, which is expensive. And then this isn't even costing the money to even hook it up to the main line that's out there. This is just to get the pole set and all the stuff installed. And a lot of people out there, they think this stuff's cheap. It's not cheap. It's never been cheap. I mean, with the amount of money I've probably spent in the past couple months, I probably could have had an apartment, but just. And then, what do I do after that? Things are just not the greatest, so. I just want to let you guys know what's going on, show you guys what's up, and show you the progress that I've done. I do have a door panel on the outside I have to actually build and install. That's after the hot water heater is done. I got enough wood and such I could probably build one. I do have a piece of metal that's out there that has gotten thrown out in the rain and covered in mud now. But I end up probably using that to cover the metal paneling, or the plywood paneling that I'm going to have to use to build a door. But anyhow, that's about all I got going on. I'll catch you guys later. I'll see you around. Bye. Well, I guess you guys want to see work in progress that I got done. Almost have everything put up on the shelves and everything, but anyway, here we go. Ah, there we go. See, toys, lots of them. See, I got a little stool here. I went out and bought a stool to actually put in here, so that way I got something to sit on. I still don't have any power out here. We bought the power pole and all that stuff. It just hasn't happened yet, but that gives you a little bit of an idea of what it is to be like a collector living in a tiny house. This is pretty much it. There's more room here than what it looks like. Obviously, the collection. Well, I'm not going to go through them all and start naming them because most of you guys know what they are. And some more of my stuff. This is for customization stuff that probably should have went in a bin. Because all my bins are up there now. Quite a bit of them. But yeah, this gives you a bit of an idea of what's going on. You can see I've got my bench stuff in here. I put the cushions in here because I've actually been staying in here. Stayed in here last night. Wasn't too bad. Nothing leaking. It's awfully quiet. These are going to get recovered. Just time. You can obviously tell. Put some of my collection back there. Movies and such, games. When I actually have electricity out here, I'll be able to enjoy those. Still waiting on my clothes. My clothes are in the dryer. I'll be putting them in here. And drill, I'm waiting on to charge so I can hang these up because I actually have curtains on to be hanging up today. I'm going to be putting these LED lights back in the back of my car again because I'm not going to install those. I decided not to. I am just going to get a rope light or something to put under here. Give it some ambient light in here eventually. You can see I've been shopping. I bought cleaning goods because I need them. Still need to clean this sink because we have no water out here and it's just ticking me off because it's nasty. So, all-purpose cleaner. Tons of these and some rags. So I can fix this problem. I hate things being filthy. I mean, things that gotta smell good. I'm sorry. That's how it works for me. But yeah, that gives you a little bit of an overview of how my humble abode's going to be. No, I don't have any electricity or water out here yet. It's the key word. Eventually. I did go out and buy a little outdoor chair. Because I actually have an outdoor, actually I put it in here. I actually have an outdoor awning thing I'm going to be putting up as well. And I do have a couple little fold-out tables I'll be able to put outside so I can actually enjoy the outdoors a little bit. Because, you know, it is a little small in here. As much as I like to play with my toys. Because I do. But this kind of gives you guys a bit of an idea of what's going on. I've got a lot that I've got planned when it comes to filming for you guys. Probably going to end up using some natural light during the day when I actually have time. I might actually do a few reviews tonight. So that way I can try to get some stuff up for you guys that have not seen me do anything on my YouTube in a while. I do not have any internet, so you're going to have to bear with me on the upload times for everything I'm going to be doing because where I work is where I'm going to be doing the uploads when I'm actually at work. Some days I'll go into work and I probably won't be at work the rest of the day. But some days I'm going to work and I'm at work. There's nothing going on. So it's a good time for me to do what I gotta do. I do have a few other previous engagements I need to take care of. Oh, and look, there's a horse out here. He's a pretty horse, isn't he? But yeah, I got horses in my backyard. See? Yep, one out there. It's kind of hard to see through this stupid screen. And our paint's over there. Oh, where the other one's at? I've got a palomino out there somewhere. I don't know where she's at. But yeah, that's Joker. I don't know what kind of horse he is. I never did ask my brother. He's a pretty cool horse. So that proves to you that I wasn't lying. I actually got my home sitting in a pasture. What do you expect? Anyway, that's a quick look at what I've been doing. I did spend the night in here, like I said last night. And I've got rechargeable lights. I actually bought a nice little LED light here. So this little can thing here, I mean, it turns on pretty good. Lights up pretty good. Darn, trying to get some lens flare going on here for you guys. Ooh, there we go. There we go. Anyway. Yeah, it's a camping light, so I figure, you know, that's better than using just the rechargeable light that I have down here. That's the batteries being charged at the house. That takes D batteries. I know, D batteries. Actually, I got an old boom box that a buddy of mine gave me. It plays cassettes and 8 tracks. 8 tracks. If you guys know what an 8-track is, go look it up. Seriously. But anyway, he gave me that thing, so I'm planning on painting it to look like Blaster because there's no sense in me making a sound wave because I actually have a sound wave. That plays cassettes. So, yeah. But anyway, that's primarily everything that's going to be going on. I mean, this is where all the magic's going to happen when it comes to editing and all that stuff eventually. That's my tower. You guys want to see what I use for a lot of my gaming and stuff. That's it. Stack of stuff down here. That's my MacBook. I need to get it out of the way for a minute. This tote here's got a bunch of customization in here. Yeah, oh my god, another Blaster. Yeah, I know, I got tons of freaking stuff. Because, you know, crazy like that. That's my brother out there mowing the yard. I'm just happy that, you know, he's really helped me out a lot. I can't really complain. I mean, things are tight, times are tough, especially for both of us right now. So I figure in order to give me a little more incentive by moving out here and not actually having electricity and not actually having water, and not actually having the internet, this will push me further and getting a little more aggressive on trying to find more steady gigs. If I can't get any more steady gigs out of this newspaper business, unfortunately I'm probably going to have to go find another job. But I mean, my thing is I just want to make sure that I can pay my bills and enjoy life. That's the big thing, is enjoying life. Enjoying life is the big thing amongst everything there is in the world. I don't care what it is. I don't care what you do. You should be enjoying life, not feeling miserable. I have to take clothes up to the house and wash them, and have to go in there to go take a shower. If I gotta go do a number 2, I gotta go to my house, because my toilet system is still not, there's no water out here, there's no sewage, so I can't do anything in there. I am a guy who can take a leak behind a tree or something. That's something I can go do, but number 2, I can't go to a house. So, welcome to Roughing It. It's just so weird being a geek and Roughing It. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys right now. You guys stay tuned. We'll end up having more stuff going on. Lots of it. I'll catch you guys next time.